And so many people are asking and praying for healing, but they're avoiding they're still avoiding the work. And see, here's the thing, I wasn't avoiding the work. I was just too blinded by the mask to see that more work needed to be see the capacity of the work that needed to be done. I was too blinded by the mask of healing because I was still holding on to the former me to see that a deeper work and to see the capacity of the work that still need to be done. But some people are just praying for healing and they won't even do the work. But you can't. Hey, it's your girl Dorcas, and welcome to the Dorcas Fitment Podcast, where I'm empowering her to drop the cape and heal for real. This is the space where courage, clarity, and strategy meets real healing. Listen, it is the very last Monday of 2025. That part. Like, we made it. We made it through 12 months of life. For some of us, life has really life this year. For some of us, things have been pretty good. But no matter where you landed this year, the rejoicing part of all of it is that we made it. We made it through this far of 2025. We're here at the very last Monday, and all month I have been taking you on this journey of me pivoting from beyond the healing to where we are now, here home. And I want to land the plane here because when we cross over into 2026, if the Lord's willing, we're working. We are working. We are gaining the courage, the clarity, and the strategy to heal for real. Okay. And that is where we are today, healing for real. And healing for real is the ultimate test of faith. The mask, all of the pretending, that's not faith. The ultimate test of faith is healing for real. Because healing for real will always test what we claim to believe. It will test us. It will test your gangster. It will test everything that you claim to believe. And that is where faith meets action. Or as the old folks would say, that's where the rubber meets the road. So we are healing for real. Because it's necessary. It has to happen. It's a non-negotiable at this point. You've been playing pity pat. You've been pretending. You've been wearing a mask. You've been the strong one. You've been wearing this cape that is heavy as heck. And it stops. It stops because we're healing for real. And the reality of it is that healing for real is not cute. It's not polished. It is gritty. It's gritty faith, I would say. It's gritty faith. It's trusting God when everything in you wants to go back to what's familiar. That's what real healing is. It is trusting God when everything in you wants to go back to what's familiar. And that is a scary reality for so many people. I won't say a scary reality. I'm not going to say that. I would say that is why so many people choose not to heal for real. Because they know that healing will cost them something. It will cost them something. But even though it will cost you something in the flesh, you will gain so much more. Because real healing is the ultimate test of faith. I think about the woman with the issue of blood. Like, she had been bleeding for years and years and years and years. But she chose to do something. She chose to fight, press, and push her way through the crowd. And she said, if I can just touch the hem of his garment, that part. It was her faith. And when she did that, the story said, he said, who touched me? And it was all those people around, it's like, what do you mean, who touched you? She touched the hem of his garment. She had the faith to touch the hem of his garment. And because of that, he said, your faith has made you whole. And she healed for real because of her faith. Not pretending. Not saying, I'm going to continue to be the strong one. I'm going to continue to suffer in this sickness. I'm going to continue to suffer in this. She said, no. I'm going to press my way through. I'm going to put it all out there. Because I know that if I can just touch the hem of his garment, I can be made whole. And she was. Because healing requires faith, obedience, and endurance. Faith, obedience, and endurance. Faith, you're believing for something that you've never experienced before. Believing for God to do a new thing. Faith is pivoting. Faith is trusting God. Faith is obedience. When God tells you to do something, you do it. If God tells you to cut him off, you cut him off. If God tells you to move, you move. And it's not stopping when things get tough. It's not stopping when the pain that you're enduring, the healing, sometimes feel worse than the pain of staying broken. You endure through it. Because that's what real healing is. And you understand that you can't heal for real if you stay the same. This was yeah. You can't heal for real if you stay the same, because the hard and sometimes the hardest part of letting go is letting go of who you were. So, little story. And I'm gonna share this here because I'm not preaching what I'm practicing. I'm telling you what I'm practicing. And we used to say, oh, practice what you preach. No, you preach what you're practicing. My bishop taught me that, and I have looked at this thing differently ever since. But you want to practice, you want to preach what you're practicing. And so God has had me on this journey of healing, like I said, since 2019, going on 7 years now. Come on. And so just this year, this last month, one great revelation that I've had, it was something that God spoke to me through. I would say she is a leader. She is, at this point, she is basically one of my mentors, whether she knows it or not. But I was I'm a part of this community called the Safe Space, and we just completed 40 days of focus, and we meet every Monday. And it's led by Jessica S. Smith of the Just S podcast. And so one Monday, she asked me what my relationship was she asked me what was my maiden name. And I told her. And she said, what's your relationship with her? And that question kind of stopped me in my tracks, because I never really thought about the relationship, my relationship, me of today, with the relationship of me of yesterday. And even though I thought that because I had healed so much from the things that she went through, she experienced, that I had let her go. But the reality is, I hadn't let her go. I hadn't let her go. And God revealed to me that the former me was keeping the me of today, the me that I'm becoming. She was keeping me stagnant. It's like I wanted to go higher, but she wasn't equipped to go higher. But here's the thing. I was comfortable with her. And I went through this season of, I really thought I was about to lose my mind. I mean, there was fog. I was depressed. I was overstimulated, overwhelmed 95% of the day. But the reality was, there was a battle that was going on mentally and spiritually between who I am and who I'm becoming and the woman I was before. The woman who experienced it all, the woman who was the who wore the cape, the woman who held it all together, the woman who was always the strong one. There was a battle going on between me and her. A battle that I hadn't recognized. And I thought I let her go. I thought I was someone else. And that is why I was hiding. Come on, Holy Spirit. And that is the reason why I was hiding behind my healing, because subconsciously I hadn't let her go. God needed me to heal for real by letting the former go. And so as long as I was hiding behind my healing, I couldn't see that the person who I was, the person who was wearing the cape, was still lingering. She was still holding on. She was still a weight around my ankle. So what did I have to do in order to heal for real? Even though some astronomical amounts of healing had taken place, I hadn't truly healed for real, because I was still holding on to who I was, and I was hiding her because I was wearing the mask of healing. And God had to reveal that so that I could heal for real and step into who Dorcas Pittman is. Step into my truest identity. So it had to cost me her. And I went and I actually had to identify the characteristics of her that were still lingering. And ultimately, I had to surrender her to God. I had to surrender the former me to our Father. And I literally have been mourning her. When I surrendered her and I laid her at that altar, I realized at that point that she had to die. My healing cost me her. But the thing about it is, she was costing me my healing. My real healing. My real healing cost me her. The one that I was comfortable with, the one who had been through it all with me, the one who had been through it all. My real healing cost me her. But she was costing me my real healing. So I had to decide, which one did I want the most? What do I want the most? Do I want to keep the former me around? Or do I want to be who God created me to be? be all of who God created me to be. Because even though I had done some healing, I hadn't truly healed for real. And that's a reality I had to face and then consume and digest. So I had to decide, which one do I honor the most? Which one do I want the most? Because God was calling me to be who He created me to be. And if I chose to stay where I was because I didn't want to lose her, I would have ultimately been telling God no. See, I knew her. I was comfortable with her. See, this new creation, this new me, the woman that Dorcas is becoming, I've never experienced her before. I've been experiencing her, but I haven't truly experienced her. So she's a new creation. And the reality is, real healing will stretch your faith more than any pain ever did. This real healing has stretched my faith more than anything I've experienced in my life. Because I knew how to handle the pain. I knew how to push through the pain. I knew what to do with the pain, but I don't know what to do with this healing. So I got to trust God with it. I have to have faith in God. But I can have faith because I know who God is. And in order for me to be whole in my identity, I had to be an active participant in the healing by letting it go. Letting it go. Letting her go. Her and all of her baggage. All of it. I had to let it go. And so that's the space of real healing. It will cost you something. And when then you have to decide, you have to be that active participant and say, okay, which one costs more? Because if I had chosen to not surrender the former me to God, that would have cost me more. And you see, real healing exposes what faith looks like in real time. Because this is real time for me. This has been real time for me. This is me putting in the work. This is me being a real-time active participant, because the word tells us faith without works is dead. So me having faith to become the woman that God created me to be, and I'm not an active participant in it, that's dead. We've heard this. People make the analogy saying, I have faith that I'm going to lose 20 pounds and you do nothing to lose the 20 pounds. That's dead. That's just empty words. And faith is not a feeling. It's not just a feeling. It is strategy. Faith is strategy. Faith is saying that, okay, I am going to declare to God that I am going to trust Him. Then I am going to rely on Him to reveal to me what I need to do, because I don't want to lean on my own understanding. And when He revealed to me what I am supposed to be doing, then I'm going to put action behind that and do it. So the strategy is tell, okay, God, I have faith that you're going to do this. Okay, God, I have faith that you're going to do this. So this is what I need you to do, because I want to be an active participant in this coming to pass. pray, fast. But God, I need you to reveal to me what my action is supposed to be in this season. Is my action supposed to be still? Is my action supposed to be to break off this, move that? What is my action, God? Show me my action. Tell me my action. I'm going to posture myself through prayer and fasting and whatever it is so that I can hear from you, so that I don't move in my own understanding. And when you reveal those things to me, then God will I move. Then God will I move. I told you that I'm not practicing what I preach. I'm preaching what I'm practicing, because that's what real healing will make you do. It will make you do those things. Because in real healing, you're not going to be a hypocrite. Hypocrites wear the mask. I said it. So what? Hypocrites wear the mask. Hypocrites hide behind the cape. But real healing in the moment, healing God's way, with God's strategy, you will preach what you're practicing. Because the transformation that will happen in your life will be so profound and so life-changing that you will be burning to preach it and share it with somebody else. This is where the rubber meets the road. Because God will test our faith. And I told you, real healing is faith. It requires faith, obedience, and endurance. And this is how, and real healing requires faith. And faith is obedience and endurance. Real healing requires faith, obedience, and endurance. I knew I was going to get that right. It was tongue-tied, okay? Real healing requires faith, obedience, and endurance. And God tests our faith through obedience, boundaries, forgiveness, and consistency. So real healing requires faith, obedience, and endurance. Right? But God will test that faith that is required in that healing through our obedience, our boundaries, our forgiveness, and our consistency. Are you going to obey me? Are you going to set boundaries so that you won't stray off into the areas and the spaces, and you won't do the things that you used to do? Are you going to forgive yourself? Are you going to forgive others? And are you going to be consistent with this? Are you going to be consistent with this? And so no matter how much healing that I've done over these past, I want to say 6 years, I have been stagnant. There hasn't been much growth. God has had to test my faith in some areas in order for my healing to reach the capacity that it needed to, in order for me to heal for real. And so many people are asking and praying for healing, but they're avoiding they're still avoiding the work. And see, here's the thing. I wasn't avoiding the work. I was just too blinded by the mask to see that more work needed to be, see the capacity of the work that needed to be done. I was too blinded by the mask of healing, because I was still holding on to the former me, to see that a deeper work and to see the capacity of the work that still need to be done. But some people are just praying for healing and they won't even do the work. But you can't keep praying for it and you don't do the work. So I did the work. And God loves us so much that he puts it right in front of our faces. We just choose to ignore it. We choose to ignore it because we understand what it's going to cost us. We understand what it's going to cost us. And we understand like what it's going to what it's going to expose. It's going to expose weaknesses. It's going to expose the fact that you've been hiding behind this cape. But it doesn't expose it to hurt you. It exposes it. The exposure elevates you. The exposure is meant for elevation. Because when you expose what is behind the cape, when you expose the things that you're avoiding, when you make the decision and cut those things loose, then you can grow. I couldn't rise to the capacity that God is calling me with the former me still holding me back. I couldn't. And when God revealed that to me and in the painful, and it was painful to acknowledge that she was still holding me. She was holding me back. She was holding me back. And I had to let her go. I had to be an active participant. I had to do the work. And the faith in that is being able to navigate this earth. Navigate in my kingdom authority. Navigate as who God created me to be. Without the security of her. I only need the security of God. I only need the security of God. And so now, my real healing can be an ultimate witness. Yes, I have a testimony of how I healed from all of my childhood trauma. I have a testimony of how I survived and how I overcame. But the testimony of the real healing, that's where it's at. I've talked about doing my part to be doing my part of the equation of they overcame the enemy by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimonies, and that is why I have provided a platform for so many people to share their testimonies and all of those things. But the reality is, was I truly being a witness, and was I truly doing my part to fulfill the end of that equation? And healing for real allows you to be the ultimate witness to who God is. My life is shifting before my eyes, actually shifting before your eyes, because it's not a coincidence that not only did God require a pivot, but he required me to pivot in real time and to share it with you in real time. See, things are shifting in my life that God showed me, been showing me over the past, I don't know how many years, since I started this journey of healing. Now there has been a shift because I have been an active participant in healing for real by dropping the cape, by surrendering the old, truly surrendering the old. And the people who are witnessing this in real time, the people who are closest to me, in real time. I don't have to say anything. They see it. They feel it. And the doors are opening. So God can use me at the level upon which He created Dorcas Pittman to rise. But it took me surrendering Dorcas, the former me, to Him. It took me surrendering Dorcas Lucy to Him so that Dorcas Pittman could rise. Because Dorcas Lucy wore the mask. She was notorious for wearing a mask. She was notorious for always being the strong one. She was notorious for not showing weakness. She was notorious for figuring it out. She was notorious. But this chick, she counted the cost. And the cost of holding on to the former was going to be more than the cost of surrendering the former to God and allowing God to elevate who He is, who I am becoming today. I understand the magnitude of healing for real. Because me being a witness to what healing for real is, I am giving so many of you permission to do the same. I only gain. I'm only gaining. Keeping the old was costing. This I am acquiring. This I am gaining. This right here. I was operating on in a surface level purpose. But because I chose to do what it took to be an active participant and heal for real, there has been a breakthrough in the surface, and God is taking my purpose to a deeper level. So the pivot was necessary. The pivot was required. And in that pivot, I have been able to heal for real. I have been able to drop the cape. God has given me a newfound sense of courage. God has given me clarity, and God has downloaded strategy for me to heal for real. So here we are. It is not a coincidence that this is the very last Monday in 2025. And when we cross over into 2026, for some it may be the same old, but for you, because God allowed you to listen to me, be a witness of the power of the pivot. Not only the power of the pivot, but what the pivot represents. And what comes beyond the pivot. And how his strategy of forcing the pivot for some is for you to heal for real, heal a deeper level of you, so that you can break the surface level purpose and go into a deeper level of your purpose. 2025 has been great because we made it. 2025 has had its ebbs and its flows. 2025 hurt real bad for some people. Some people that it didn't touch them at all. But oh God, for those who are still wearing the cape, for those who are hiding behind the S on their chest, for those who have been doing surface level healing, God is calling you to a deeper level of healing. God is calling you to drop the cape and heal for real. 2025 has been awesome. But this is where the rubber meets the road. This is where real healing began. So this is the last time you will hear my voice on the Dorcas Pittman podcast in 2025. When we cross over into 2026, get ready to do the work. Get ready to do the work. Get ready to be an active participant in your healing. Get ready to drop the cape and heal for real. Happy New Year. I'm gonna say in advance, Happy New Year, because I'm declaring and decreeing that come next week, I will be here in front of you as we start this journey of dropping the cape and healing for real. But until then, remember that you are her. You are healed, you are empowered, and you are restored. I'll see you next year. Talk to you soon.